Okay. Well, here we are, C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. My goodness, January 29th. For some of us, January has been the year of the month of January 2026. For others, we're just kind of enjoying this extra time. For how many of you have seen like a really long month, right? Yes, yes. So our topic today, and this, I'd like for this to be an interactive conversation. I'm going to bring up some strategies that I think are hot right now based on some research I want to share with you because this is really important now. I also want to share with you, and by the way, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. I am so thrilled to be here because I'm thrilled to be able to share with you what I'm learning. I have an inside track that I want to share with you in regard to new technologies, AI, things that are coming to the coaching industry. I've been a coach, gosh, since 1998, quite a long time. And I made a career change from being in tech for, gosh, almost 20 years and being a key person of influence in the companies that I was in. I was in tech, and all of the companies that I was with, we went public. So when I went public, didn't need to work, but I wanted to continue to work. I was too young to retire. And so I realized who I really was a coach. I was a coach and consultant, but also a coach at heart. And so I realized I got to get credentialed, I've got to get trained, and how can I move into creating my own business? And so that's what I did. And moving now also into creating our council, creating communities, and creating the category of one institute, which I've now trademarked. I'm really excited about. We'll talk about that later. Because what I notice, and you've noticed this too, raise your hand if you've got comments, of course, on this, is for how many of you do you realize there are more and more and more coaches and consultants on LinkedIn, especially? Yep, yep. Give me some sparkling here. Yes. I think that's a good thing because I think with 8 billion people on the planet, I think everyone should and can and must have a coach. Okay. So sharing with you what's happening in the world. And also, I wanted, before we kind of get started with some new ideas and some new discussion, thank and appreciate Susan K. Younger for last week's program. Hey, if any of you have got some comments, jump in. We need to do some deep work. And for how many of you, you're busy in the work week, you're doing so many things, and we're not taking enough time to actually just pause and do deep work. So, Susan, thank you to you for leading this great program. And just to take a little breather, Susan, do you want to mention anything about last week's deep work collab?
I think it's the sort of thing that for some of us, it really creates the focus time. And for others, it kind of creates that drama of, wait a minute, somebody's watching. And for some of us, we do better on our own when we're not trying to have that accountability in the moment while we're doing it. And for others, it's like, this is brilliant and it helps us to move. And what's wonderful is when we can explore that so we know what really feeds us in doing our best deep work.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we got great feedback on this session. Just being able to just have a little pause and to be able to consciously remember that, hey, we can't be in the doing mode and to actually schedule time in our calendars to be able to do the deep work. So thank you to you for leading it. We did it, and we also did it in a great sisterhood, which was awesome. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, sisters, and we call each other sisters. We're business sisters in our council. I believe that 2026 is the year of the big reset. Okay. You know, specifically in the United States, but also globally, businesses and economies are changing and they're changing really fast. AI has been the game changer for literally everything, but also the economy is changing, making a major switch. And coaching is a way to support people during big times of big change. And we know with a lot of layoffs that organizations have been having, government, education, everything, business, that we have now people that are coming into the marketplace that are saying, hey, I had a coach in corporate, or I had a coach when I was in my government work or education. I'd love to be a coach. I loved it. And so we're seeing more and more people in the marketplace becoming coaches. So the opportunity, I think, for us, and we want to get the discussion going, is how do we differentiate and position ourselves to be the category of one, to be the go-to person, to be the only person that organizations and individuals trust and know and want to work with? Okay. So the reset is happening. And by the way, take a screen capture here if you'd like to. We are doing, sponsored by our council, the category of one 2026 Market Authority Study. This is the world's first global study on how are coaches and consultants being chosen by corporations, associations, organizations, and VIP premium clients to become their coach. So, love for you to take the survey. If you are able to take the survey, it takes about 9 minutes. You're able to take it before Monday. I'll give you a little extension there. My team will be delighted. We're going to make you a founding contributor. So we're going to give you some recognition, give you a shout out on LinkedIn on being a founding contributor. So this is a way to get your visibility up in the world as a leader, as a thought leader, as someone who's part of a bigger community. So would love for you to take the survey, take the study, participate. We're going to do a big reveal in the first week of March. So more to come on this. Okay. So what I'm noticing, and this is an inside track as to what's happening in the research, and tell me what you think on this. But the research is showing already that the issue is not with coaches and consultants about talent. We've all got a lot of talent, right? But the issue is really its positioning, and it's affirming that decision makers, whether it's B2C, business to consumers or corporations or associations, is the need for outcomes and results with proven processes, but not leaning on the processes, is results and outcomes are absolutely key. Having a coach is not a nice to have kind of thing anymore. I mean, it's great that we've all got our own coaches, but we want results. So, jump in your point of view. I want to get your point of view on this, but I'm also noticing from the study and from the other research that I'm doing is proximity is mattering right now. Being closer to your ideal clients, knowing what they're dealing with, understanding the things that they're saying, they're thinking, they're doing, the things that are keeping them up at night. Proximity to what our clients are dealing with is key. And of course, association is mattering more than ever before. Lone wolf coaches are not making it in this world. They're really not. It's impossible to start a business and grow a thriving business on your own. Community is the differentiator with AI. So jump in. What are you noticing in the world about proximity, being closer to your clients? Obviously, these are some pretty like, aha, yeah, of course, kinds of things, but association, who are you associated with? And of course, we know that the truism is you are the accumulation and compilation of your 5 people in your life: your education, your income, your values, your health, your vitality, your spirituality. So the 5 people that you associate with the most dictate your income and your opportunities. And are you noticing it this as well? What are you seeing? Affiliation is everything. Yep. You've got the credential. Of course, you're an ICF credential coach. That is really important. But being aligned with organizations and being aligned with causes and movements and things like the C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, we're known for our values of promoting you, showcasing you, highlighting you, and giving you a platform to rise. That's what we're known for. Yep. So feel free, jump in. The other issue that I'm noticing in my research is This is really about positioning, okay? Positioning yourself as the category of one, as the person that has solutions, answers, frameworks, and you are able to deliver. So I don't think this is a matter that we're not smart enough, we're not working hard enough, we haven't gotten the right things, the right talent. I think that success right now in 2026 is we have to position ourselves perfectly. We've got to really hone in on the positioning, which we'll talk about. And what are you noticing? Put it in the chat, take yourself off mute. What are you noticing about positioning? Hey, being a leadership coach or a business improvement consultant, I'm noticing it just doesn't cut it anymore. What are you noticing? Jump in.
With AI writing everyone's content and posts, everyone sounds exactly the same. So you're
Exactly.
right, the positioning is vital because you have to sound different.
Yeah.
Everybody sounds exactly the same. Everybody's posts look exactly the same. You can see the sentence, the three bullets, and the sentence. It is getting too noisy, and it was like that last year. But and as far as content goes, I have a podcast, I have a lot of content, I'm always doing content. None of it is really generating business. What it is when I am in front of people and I am in the rooms, the first thing somebody does when I meet them is they leave and they go look me up online and verify that I am credible, that I am trustworthy, that I know what I'm talking about, and that I have a following. So even if it's not the generator, it is the credibility source. So both of them are important.
Thank you, Amanda. And it's the stages that we're on. Us being a podcast guest. It's the consistency and just being showing up, showing up, showing up. And Carol, I know that for you, I'm going to jump on with you. Is you have the consistency. You've got a newsletter that comes out every week. You do posting so beautifully, and you're speaking to your ideal clients. What are you noticing? Because there are a lot of people that say, hey, I'm a LinkedIn expert, or I can help you get your LinkedIn optimized or whatever. What are your thoughts about just setting yourself apart as you've moved beyond being, yes, you're a LinkedIn expert, but you're doing even more. And take yourself, you can jump off mute. Yeah.
Okay, so this week I got someone who I had never seen on LinkedIn before. I had no idea. And he found me just on Google because I'm right up there. And he wanted all kinds of things. And it remains to be seen whether this plays out. But he is a CEO of his own company. He has grown it from nothing to fairly sizable, and he is looking to exit in 4 years. And he's looking to change the way he, I don't know, presents himself so that he is really the big king who introduces his staff and gives them the entree, as opposed to being a CEO and doer be. And he was interested in help not only with his LinkedIn profile, but in um, presentation and speaking and all kinds of things. He said, I was looking and you were just a good answer. So we shall see
Nice.
whether this comes to be. But it is because I have that big body of content, as Amanda said, that she is experiencing. Um, People do find me,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's for really fun things. So I'm hoping I get to work with them.
Excellent. Congratulations. Yes. Yeah. We've got to be in the game, right, ladies? We've got to be in the conversation. And the proximity, and Angela, will come over to you in a second here, is the proximity to getting closer to our ideal clients. And of course, knowing who our ideal clients are, doing the basic work on the psychographics, the demographics, all of these kinds of things. But where I'm curious for us to take another, kind of another slice, so to speak, as our ideal clients, what are they dealing with now in January of 2026? What are their concerns about this year? And to get into conversation and communication about what's at the top of their agenda, right? How are they being impacted by AI and the economy and all these kinds of things so that we can speak to them in what's relevant now, right? It's so interesting because everything just seems to be like now, not in seconds, but in milliseconds, right? Yeah. Yeah, good. Angela, jump in.
I don't have the consistent presence that Carol does. Um, but I
Run our own
am,
race, right?
pardon?
Run our own race.
Yeah. Well, and really, folks, who does? Um, but I'm I'm unique. I don't look at accessibility like most people do. I'm trying to take disability out of the equation and then put it back in its proper place because when we see it as affecting people with disabilities alone, we're taking too narrow a view of it.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
but
yes.
it's like Amanda said, it's so noisy out there. It's like trying to have a deep, nuanced conversation with somebody in the middle of a rock concert. Um, So for me, it comes back to the human to human conversations and sitting and talking with people and trying to explain exactly what sets me apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and it doesn't help that I'm really kind of at a moratorium in terms of not moratorium, that's not the word I'm, but what's the word for when you can't figure out who the hell you are?
Well, we're in a shift, right? You're in a transition,
Yeah.
and aren't we all kind of in our own phase of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Do I go B to B? Do I go B to C? Do I do a little bit of both?
yeah.
Do I, lean heavily into what I'm, for lack of a better word, calling cognitive accessibility, even though nobody's going to know what the heck that means. Um, how to even explain it to people.
Yeah. So
Um,
coming in a shift, right? And I'm curious how many of you are in a shift. You're ch making changes. Perhaps you're starting a new market, a new venture. You're writing new books. You're starting a new podcast, right? Yeah. Yeah. Angela, thank you. Really appreciate you bringing that up because I think there's a through line for all of us, isn't there? There's a through line of who we want to serve, what we want to offer, what what are the problems that we help solve, what are the opportunities that we help to create, all of those things. Good. Thank you so much. Anyone, any other comments? Just jump in. Okay.
Um,
So,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
please, Sheila. No, please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I- so I love the survey that you did, and the
Thank
questions on
you.
there were fantastic. And I know, Carol, you've done surveys as well, and I think that's fabulous to get that intel. I also like jumping into other groups or associations where your target audience is. So I have found myself in the insurance industry for 30 years. And I didn't recognize until last year that really that probably is my ideal target audience because I know so much about it. I'm around them all the time. And it's specifically women in insurance. And there's all kinds of groups popping up. So I've joined three of them. And it's fascinating to get on calls, right, with them to listen, to really listen about what they struggle with and so I would just encourage if there's groups that your target audience have to look those up and maybe at least just join one of them or pop in because you will get a lot of insight and intel from that.
Sheila, thank you so much. That is so great. It's interesting. early in my coaching career, I spent a lot of time with other coaches. It's a feel-good group like our group. And I think there's a time and a place for our group with other colleagues. However, it's kind of our comfort zone. And now I want to say, I want y'all to keep coming back. Of course, we're going to be building our council big time this year. But I think also what you're saying, Sheila, and what I'm hearing is what is the time that we're spending getting closer to and getting proximity to our ideal clients and being in those groups and going to those meetings and subscribing to those newsletters and conferences with our ideal clients. There's something really powerful about that. But Sheila, what I know about you is you're not going in to sell anything. You're not going in to, heavily promote. You're going in to learn and to be in association and to be helpful, right? And to be a resource and to be an expert. So yeah, very, very good. That's it. That's it. So highly recommend is one of the key strategies from leaving today is how many how much time are you spending in communities and in community with your ideal clients? Okay, really, really important. Good, thank you. So continuing on with 2026, and by the way, why I'm doing this study, and this is one of many studies that I've done, is when you're doing a study, you're you're doing obviously a survey, but it's also a positioning technique because when you do a comprehensive research-based project, you get to be the person that does the research. You get to ask the questions, you get to get the results, and then you get to be the category of one person who is the holder of the content, is the holder of, and is the person who's then publishing. So you can bet, ladies, you're going to see I've got a launch plan that's put together on the results, the press releases, the opportunities. Who do I need to talk with? The press can quote me. I've got statistics that are amazing. I'm comparing so many factors. And so once you do this kind of study, and if you have questions about how to do that, feel free, jump on calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell, schedule 30 minutes with me. I'm delighted to talk with anyone about this. But you become the go-to person for this project. So highly recommend that. It's a major strategy for positioning yourself. Okay. And so with this new year, what I'm noticing is I think we need a new lens in which to look at our market, to look at our business, being the jack of all trades, to being able to do everything, as Jeffrey Hayslett always says, being the one trick pony, has its pluses and minuses, but being able to hone in with a sharp lens to who really do we want to serve. And I'm going to give you some examples about this very quickly, but I think also letting go of the fear of, hey, if I niche down or niche down, if I'm serving a particular group, a particular client, a particular industry, if I niche down very, very tightly, I'll be losing opportunities. But what I'm noticing is you're going to gain opportunities for some of the reasons we're going to talk here. Because what I'm noticing, particular with my corporate clients, is they definitely want to know specifically the kinds of companies that I help or that I work with. So who do you help? What outcomes are you're able to deliver? And what are the results that you want? And that's ultimately, as we know, that's what people are buying is they want the outcome, right? They don't necessarily want the journey. They want to know that the journey is you've got the journey handled, but also they're looking for how quickly can you do this? And I'm noticing specifically with my corporate clients, in the past, we've had like a year runway to help transform their teams and their leaders to be high performance. And we're defining how they're being, how, what does high performance mean? But they're getting themselves ready for a merger, an acquisition, for a major, major expansion. And so kind of knowing those things is what I have to work with my clients on is what are the specifics. But for each of you, having that specificity around who do you work with, what are the outcomes, and then how quickly can you do this? What are your promises? What do you stand for? Like an open-ended kind of situation, what I'm noticing, it's not working anymore, ladies. It's just not, people want results and they want them now. So jump in, comments. What are you noticing? Want to get your point of view on here, of course, in your experience. So
One
I
thing,
think, yeah,
yeah,
jump in, please. Yeah.
yeah, one thing for me is like a couple of years ago, it was when you sold programs, etc. It was like you get this, and then you get 200 more hours of content, and this will be like a year-long program. And as you said, Kathleen, like they want results quickly, and they want short bites of information that they can really consume in a short period of time. And
Yeah.
I think in a way the deepness has we have lost that the attention span is getting shorter and shorter, and we need to adjust to that to be able to serve in the best possible, or at least hook them
Yes,
to be
exactly.
able to start serving them. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And Suzanne, so completely agree. And how about each of you as well? Is once we've built the relationship, we've got the engagement, we're in relationship, we're in community, we've got the contractual opportunity here. Is then I think we get the opportunity to serve them what we know they need and what they want. And maybe it's like last Thursday, Susan provided the deep work session. Well, we all know that we need to schedule some time in our calendar to actually be thinking and to be processing and not to be responding. Well, I know that that's what our community really wants and needs, but if I led with that, probably wouldn't be so exciting, right? So yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, the speed to results is now getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Yeah. And you're noticing that too, ladies. Anyone else noticing speed to results? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Great. So knowing and being able to communicate who you help and what you help them achieve and what the specific timeline is. I guess we don't have to say it within like literally 90 days and 20 minutes and 10 seconds, but having kind of a general guideline, I think that that also helps us hone into our ideal clients have their radar up for all of these things. They want to be able to see, just as you said, Carol, is people are raising their hand and contacting us when they resonate with what we're saying. They resonate with one of these things. They resonate with the time frame, the outcome, who we're speaking to. So getting closer to that, and feel free, put these prompts into your AI, because see what you come up with, whatever, being able to hone this, but take your generic and your offers that have worked in the past, your programs, your products, your services, take those and then put it in this matrix and see what you come up with. Also, doing a survey, finding out what people are saying they want right now in this moment, absolutely critical. Because what I'm noticing is one of my clients, and I have, like all of you, having a portfolio approach to the work you're doing. You've got individual VIP clients that maybe you do a VIP day with, or a half day VIP day, or you've got groups, which is so great. Got groups. Maybe you have a council, maybe you have a membership, maybe you have a mastermind, and also combining that with corporate work, working with educational institutions, organizations, government, business, B2B, B2C, small, medium, large, whatever it is, having specific things that you're working on and being known for like the through line of all these kinds of things. Really, really important. And so one of my VIP clients who hired me for a VIP day was she was just she's just says, "Hey, I'm a corporate coach. I'm a career coach. I'm a career change coach." And we both know that, all of you, we know that that is not working in today's market. People see that and they go, "Oh, geez, okay, great, super." And because they want more specificity. And so to be able to convert that with her into more specifics about having a tagline and being able to communicate that she helps specifically burned out corporate women specifically in their 40s go from, and this is her language because she did the research on this. The women were saying, this job is killing me. It's crushing my soul. She's using terms that our clients are using. And that specifically women that are in like their second act, and to be able to go from this to this within a period of time. So try this out for yourself. See how it resonates with you being a guest on a podcast or doing your own podcast shows or your through line or your newsletters or your communication. Even doing a little survey, testing it out with people that your colleagues. If you're in the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, you can try it out here and we'll give you feedback. Yep. So this level of specificity is what's needed now. Also, if you're a corporate coach, consultant, that type of thing, and Carol will come over to you in just a second, is we all know that helping companies with leadership issues is way too broad, right? It doesn't work anymore. It maybe worked 5 years ago, but it does not work now. So being able to be so specific about things like what kind of companies, all right, mid-market companies, maybe it's companies with 500 employees or less, being able to hone in on what is it that you do, help them eliminate leadership behaviors that are driving turnover. These are magical words that learning and development and in HR and all kinds of different departments are looking for. And then to be able to say, hey, what do you do then? Transforming team leaders into accountable leaders using the buzzwords that are in your body of work and being able to do it within a period of time to ultimately create a culture of excellence. So can you see the before and the after is really what's needed now. And again, use your AI to help you with this. Jumping over to you, Carol. What thoughts do you have?
Yes,
Comments?
could you go back 2 slides to show us your prompt?
Yes, absolutely. Be glad to do that. Thank you. Yeah, feel free, take a screen capture and, with this, and you could even add to this, ladies, you could even add to this something about using my proprietary or using the something something framework or using this methodology or using my system, something like that. Even insert what's the mechanism that helps them get to it. Okay. That even adds more great positioning for yourself. Okay. Susan, jump in. You have a point of view on this. You've got things to say.
What I find frequently happens is we are so focused on what we think we do, we are missing what they need from us that we do. And frequently, if we take more time to listen to people talk about what issues they're having in their company or within their department or team, we can then frame an answer that talks about how we work with them to create the solution they're looking for, and less about the breadth of everything we're capable of doing or what we think is our best piece of content or best service. And a lot of times you get in and solve that one problem for them, and they start to understand that you have a depth and breadth that can be taken from that small piece to bigger things. And I think we so frequently are trying to come up with the exact answer to put out there that we miss exploring the opportunities that are in front of us.
Excellent. Susan, so agree. Thank you for that. I'm curious for how many of you, Amanda will come over to you in a second, is for how many of you, if you've started off working with a client on one thing, and then through building the relationship, you were able to morph it into other things. And again, this is with clients that you love and adore. You love to work with. These are your great ideal clients. You want to do more with them. So you collaborate and find more opportunities. Literally, every one of my corporate clients have started off this way. We thought it was going to be for this one topic and this issue, and then it's I felt it was like my responsibility to be able to see what's happening, to interview, to build those relationships, and to present the opportunities, based on credibility, keeping my word, and being able to demonstrate that they're getting great outcomes and results. It's morphed into years long engagements. It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. And that is the best way to build your business, I think. Having these long-term engagements, and of course at the same time working on your working on your pipeline. Got to do that so we don't like just we are the one trick pony with only one client. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Amanda, please jump in.
Yeah, to piggyback on what Susan was saying, I work with my clients on this specific issue. Like, how do you create your market dominating position? And I think what happens is A, we use our own jargon, and B, every one that I see usually starts with a client or a prospect saying, well, I should hope so. And if that's
Yeah,
their response, it needs to be cut out. I think
yeah.
we just have such a generic overview. It's just like, well, I should hope so. I help people increase their profits. Well, I should hope so. That should be
Excellent point.
completely eliminated
Yeah,
from that position statement or whatever. So really look at it, like Susan said, through the lens of your client and what that actual result is, not what you do, but what they get.
yeah. Beautiful, brilliant, brilliant. Yes, yes. And thank you, Amanda and Susan. And through all of this, what can you be known for? I think that that is really another through line, is so fantastic that people get to know you for these things. And that's going to make our referability, that's going to make it so much easier for us if you're known for bringing energy, being able to transfer this and be able to do this and do these things. And I think that we demonstrate that through our word and deed, but also how can we educate our clients to help us be able to refer us to those kinds of things. So yeah, what are we known for? Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, hey, let's pause. What are you getting out of our conversation today? We've got like literally just a couple more minutes. What are you getting out of our conversation? Feel free, jump in, put it in the chat, maybe a word or phrase. We don't want to breathe from a fire hose, but what are you getting? Like, word, I'm getting this, or what's the theme that's bubbling up for you? Yep, thank you, thank you, thank you. Focus. That's really good. Yep, yep. Intentional. Thank you very much. Right. Yeah, yeah. And Carol, thank you. We've got so many great comments. Thank you, ladies. Good. Right. So intentionality, focus, really critical. Okay. So let's jump into perhaps some more specificity here. Okay. Because this is all about positioning and also knowing the timeliness of what people are dealing with now. And are they also our prospective clients, are the people we want to work with who want to work with us, are they inspired by solving problems, and or is their need now the opportunity cost or the opportunities that they want to focus in on? Like, where's their mindset? What are the drivers for our ideal clients? What's the market dealing with now? And if you have not subscribed to, and of course, within full integrity, we're not saying, let's just say a CEO or an executive newsletter. We're not, we're not trying to pass off that we're someone that we're not, but what's the intel that you're getting about your ideal clients? And this is a tremendous opportunity for you to be a guest, to be a podcast guest, to be a guest columnist, to write articles, to be visible to your ideal clients. So are you putting yourself in the rooms where your ideal clients can find you? Because a generic LinkedIn, a generic LinkedIn kind of presence, I don't think it's cutting it these days. honestly, I don't know if your ideal clients are executive women or executive men or businesses, or if you're at the CFO level, let's just say, and you're working with chief financial officers, whatever it may be. I don't know how much time they have to scroll through LinkedIn or social. I think from what I'm hearing, they don't have a lot of time. We have a little bit more time and investment. So being hyper focused is really the key now, because we've got to become more findable, more referable, and also this is going to help us with our confidence, because I think confidence is the key. I don't think confidence comes after you've got the engagement or the client. I think confidence comes before it. We've got to confidently be in the marketplace, providing solutions, being visible, being in a place where people can find us and hire us, right? I think the confidence comes first, and then also taking the actions that are aligned with it. So then comes the fees. The high fees don't come before confidence. The confidence comes first. If you have another point of view on this, want to hear you, because ultimately we've all got to become the category of one. So, number two, and I've just got a couple strategies for you to think about and to implement as you see fit for your business. But strategy number two, I think, is around demonstrating and discussing the transformation you provide. Being able to position yourself around a before and after, a transformation. My client went from this to this. And of course, if you're in a confidential situation, leave out the company name, leave out any sort of identifying information about an executive, whatever it may be, or a team, that type of thing. But being able to demonstrate the clear transformation helps our ideal clients vibe with us. They're like, oh, yeah, I've got this same situation, right? So before and afters, really key. And of course, do you have a signature framework? Do you have signature processes? Do you have a methodology? Have you got a book? Have you got a system? What is it that you're doing to take people through the journey from where they are to where they want to be? So this strategy number three, I think it's like the table stakes. We've got to have strategies and systems and frameworks and methodologies. Okay. Generic coaching does not cut it anymore. And I want to tell you, ladies, I'm curious also, how many have seen the latest AI coaching models and the latest AI coaching offers? They're very, very, very strong, very strong. And we're going to do another program very soon about what we're seeing in regard to all of the AI coaching models. We have to be able to differentiate ourselves from a coaching app, from an AI app. Now, perhaps we work in conjunction with an AI app, but we've got to be able to differentiate why we're different, what's the value add, and be able to provide what are the results, what are the things that we can do human to human that an AI app can't do. More critical than ever before. Okay. And so also building your positioning, because this is all about positioning, right? And performance leads to profits, is through the content that you're putting out there, being able to demonstrate consistently. So have your content, your words, your everything that you're doing be consistent with all of your content and your relevance and your branding. All right. We talked about this transformation stories as positioning proof. And of course, stories, transformational stories, integrating more of these into the work. And I've got to do a better job on this. We could all do, I'm sure, a better job on this. Is where was the client before? What were the pain points? What's the specifics of where they were? What shifted during your work with them? And of course, where are they now? What's the result that you have helped them get? And of course, what made how you do it different, unique, special, valuable. So that transformational journey, that transformational story, and how to do this is through obviously informational interviews. Okay. Asking your clients to give you more data and to give you results. And of course, asking for their permission to publish as well. Okay. So in total, we've got, I think, to conclude our time together and want to get your takeaways. What are you thinking here? Is being more specific helps with our positioning, right? We can't be generic anymore. We've got to be able to hone in on who do we really serve, what are the outcomes that we help them get, and also what are the systems that we use to do it, communicating those outcomes, in making an investment in our time and our resources in proximity, right? To groups like the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, where we talk about things that we're dealing with right now, just in time in the marketplace. And of course, all of these things will increase your income. All right. So with that, feel free, jump on a call with me. Let's talk about your corporate coaching. Let's talk about your B2C, business to consumer, whatever it is that you're doing. Jump on a call with me, schedule. Let's just talk about your business. Ladies, I love to do that. Love to do that. We'll talk about all these things and how you can implement them into your business. And as we conclude, I'm curious, what's your biggest takeaway? We always end with this. What's your biggest takeaway? And maybe even if there's a one next step, we'd love to know that as well. So, what's your biggest takeaway from our time together, from everybody sharing what you've learned, what you want to take some action on? And feel free, jump in. We want to get your voice here. What's your
Got to
biggest
cut through
takeaway?
the racket.
Cut through the racket. Thank you. Rackets are only for tennis in the Australian Open, right? Right. Thank you, Angela. Right. Jump in.
I find that it's a lot about what am I learning when I listen to, whether it's a presentation like yours or I listen to a presentation from MIT about uncertainty and political implications, an entrepreneurial group I'm going to be with for their awards thing today. You start to see that different groups are hitting on similar topics, which all of a sudden give you a way to look at where is a focus between diverse entities and how do you show that you are solving that problem across those sort of things in a way that no one else is. It really is about creating the nuance of what makes you unique. The exact things that you're talking about as a category of one and how that serves many, not just the people that have always known you to be what you do.
Brilliant, Susan. Thank you. Right. Yes. Hey, I hope all of this is inspiring to you because I think we get this great privilege and opportunity to be more of who we are and to bring more of what we love to do and the difference we want to make into the world. I think this is just a great opportunity and to be able to do the work that we want to do with more of the people that are raising their hands, right? Less convincing, less strife, less always on type of thing. I think this is an opportunity to lean back and know that we've got the talent, we've got the capabilities. We just have some puzzle pieces to fit together. So thank you. Yeah, anyone else jump in? Biggest takeaway from our time together? It's been a joy, hasn't it? It's been a great conversation today, as always. Yeah, feel free. And if you are off camera, we love you, love you, love you. Feel free, put it in the chat. Great. We've got some great things in the chat. Yes, thank you. Specificity. Thank you, Carol. Specificity. Next up, understanding needs better. Thank you. Very outcomes. Right. Very good. Good. Anyone else as we complete? Biggest takeaway.
I loved just how you talked again about the importance of the survey that Carol's done and you're completing, and I'm doing that in my corporate environment as well, and how that really helps inform your go-to-market strategy for getting yourself out there. So it's a good reminder, a good tip again, like we hear it, but do we do it? Right? Execution on that. So that
Execution.
was a great reminder. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great. Well, ladies, thank you. Thank you. What a joy to be with you today. And we have a great opportunity. 2026 is your year. I am sure of it. Let's make it happen. Okay. We'll see you next Thursday. Suzanne Ekstrom is going to talk about culture. Oh, it's going to be great. And she's going to talk about culture and AI and what's our lane, right? What's our lane? So thank you. We'll see you soon. Have a beautiful day. Let's make it happen. Okay. Bye for now. Thank you.